Hey guys, Ryan here, also known as Halogen for Squadron Media, and today I will be talking about the top 5 FNAF games. Now, a lot of people are thinking, why am I making this video? FNAF is dead, you know? But I decided to make this video because I still like the FNAF games. Yeah, their fan base was a little bit crazy, but honestly, you gotta look at them like they're addictive app-like games with a little bit of horror and a little bit of story mixed in. Now, I'm working on some bigger videos right now. Actually, one does have to do with Five Nights at Freddy's. The others have to do with gaming, other games, Mario Kart, stuff like that. Because I decided to make this list because it's something I've actually been planning on doing since one of my old channels, which I did have some FNAF content on. But I think you guys will enjoy this video. Now, one more thing. This is my opinion because there's a few controversial choices on here. In fact, this whole list is pretty controversial. So because of that, keep this in mind when watching this video. But that being said, let's move on to our number 5. At the number 5 spot, we have Fnaf World. That's right. This is the only non-horror game in the series. In fact, it's an RPG. When the game was first announced, I thought it was going to be my favorite of the FNAF games. I've always loved RPGs. Unfortunately, though, this game just didn't meet the expectations. When Fnaf World was first released, there was lots of frustration because it was missing key elements like a 3D world map and attack descriptions. Due to this, Scott pulled it off Steam and put it on GameJolt for free. While I enjoyed the free version, I thought the gameplay was kind of tedious, a little boring. I played for about an hour, but quit because I was tired and moved on to playing some Mario Kart. But still, this is a nice game. The story is alright. It's got some weird stuff to it. Nobody's really solved it. It seems to be a message from Scott, which is kind of weird. But if you like FNAF and you like RPGs, I'd suggest checking this out. You might like it, you might not. It's kind of a controversial game within the FNAF community. Some love it, some hate it, some kind of feel how I feel, kind of mixed. But it's still a good game. I gave it a 6 out of 10 in my review, and I think I stand by that. Coming in at number 4 is actually a fan favorite. That's FNAF 2. Now, it's definitely the hardest of all these games. This is the only one that I actually haven't beaten 100% apart from Fnaf World, just because it is so hard. The one thing that this game lacks for me is the scares. FNAF 2 is just so plain stressful, and because you're under this pressure, the time during the 12 to 6 period is just not even scary. I still love all the new characters and story elements, but it's probably the worst of the 4 main games. The brutal difficulty is just crazy because it starts out relatively easy, but then it moves on to, like, Night 5 is one of the most challenging things ever. This is honestly probably in the top 5 hardest games ever made. It is brutally difficult. It is insane. It took Markiplier, the king of FNAF himself, 9 hours to complete this straight. That is crazy. This game is really intense. Not too scary, but really brutal. Although, to be fair, it does have a pretty good story, I'll say that. At number 3, we have the original Five Nights at Freddy's. This game thrives off simplicity, as there isn't any insane game mechanics or even complicated story like the rest of the games. That is something I like, as this game has a perfect balance of skill-based gameplay, luck, and atmosphere. The scares in this game are genuine. The camera work is better in this game than any other game, by far, in my opinion. And the feeling of one of the animatronics outside your door, that's pretty scary, I gotta say. This is probably the only FNAF game that really scared me. And number 4 kinda did, but this one was pretty dang scary because it was unique. It was one of my first horror games I'd ever played, but it was pretty dang awesome either way. Coming in at number 2, we have the amazing Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Now, this is a great FNAF game. This is one of the 2 Five Nights at Freddy's games that I really love, and it has the best atmosphere of any of the FNAF games by far. When I think about Five Nights at Freddy's, I immediately think about the creepy sound effects you hear in this game, like the Fun with Plush Trap minigame, that has some creepy noises in the background, as well as the creepy breathing of Chica, which is very scary. And this game also has some of the best jump scares of all time. Similar to FNAF 3, some jump scares don't mean you're dead, like Foxy's jump scare in the closet or the Fredlets on the bed. Also, the story in this game is pretty confusing, actually. I have to say that I do think the cutscenes were some of the best, but they were kind of confusing as well. It just mixed around the whole story. It took it from being complicated to being just crazy. Just so many new theories propped up, like the Dream Theory, the Bite of 83, stuff like that. This is a great game. I love this game, and now we're going to move on to number 1, which I think a lot of you know what it is, and I think a lot of you don't agree with it, but let me explain. Coming in at the number 1 spot, we have everyone's least favorite game in the series, actually, Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Now, in my opinion, this is an amazing game. I love it. It takes more skill and strategy, in my opinion, than the rest of the series. I love the mechanics in this game. They're just so cool, so unique, and so fun. The way you use the audio devices to move Springtrap around, and the rebooting of the systems, that added a lot of tension. But not too much stress, as it still had that atmosphere and was still creepy, which was pretty awesome. It had the right balance of stress and tension, but at the same time it had that right amount that it could still be scary, unlike Five Nights at Freddy's 2, in my opinion. This was a great horror game. Now, one problem I think a lot of people had was he didn't really explain how to play it, like, at all. Like, it was kind of hard to figure it out for some people, including me, but once I did, it was so much fun. I was addicted to it. Now, probably the best thing, actually, in my opinion, is the story and the endings. The bad ending, which is a great finale to the FNAF series. It brought some closure, and I was okay with that being the end, even though he didn't make FNAF 4, because that was the end of the story, really. But the good ending was also great, too, because technically the souls weren't really freed, because they needed to have that last birthday party. But I'm spoiling it. But anyways, this got the best story and the best gameplay. What else could you ask for? Maybe not quite the best scares. The jump scares weren't that great. I did really like the sound effect for the jump scares, so they're really cool. Reminded me of Predator. But yeah. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope to see you next time. Maybe I'll do some more FNAF content later. I'm not a huge fan of the games. I just like and love a few of them, but that's okay. We'll see you guys next time on our next videos. Maybe you guys are interested in Mario Kart, maybe other games. Also, we got a lot of movie content on here too. But anyways, see you guys next time. Bye.